Okay, well, I want to welcome everyone to the 2026 NSO AGM. I appreciate you taking the evening to come out and hear about the current state of NSO, help us look at passing proposed bylaws, look at some of the achievements for the year, and then to elect our officers for the rest of 2026. Please feel free as we have the meeting to get up and get more pizza. We don't want to take pizza home, so please help yourself to as much as you want. And then maybe we'll get the cookies moved over to that table as well, so that way people can get cookies for dessert. And then also when you sign in, you also get your raffle tickets for all the door prizes. So make sure if you haven't signed in yet to get signed in. Okay, so here's our daunting agenda to get through this evening. I will move us through as quickly as possible by just moving right along. First thing I would like to have is the officers the current officers of NSO to come up to the front here.
Nice badge.
So if you guys will quickly introduce yourself and which position you hold, I would appreciate that. Also be thinking between now and later on this evening of what you will be reporting out in your officer report for the AGM. Also, in recognition for their service to the board over the last year, we have gotten them a water bottle. So I will give you those as well. So Rachel, do you want to start from your end?
Sure. I'm Rachel Meeks, and I'm currently serving as the Director of Communications, so I do the social media post.
Jeremy Gerking, outgoing president of NSO.
Jonathan Simmons, Director of Mentoring, so if you've had a mentor on your match recently, that was one of us.
Katie Bo, I'm the secretary, just the eye candy during the NSO board meetings.
I'm Darren Meeks, and I'm one of the lead reps.
Chris Ibarra, Director at Large. Justin Rose, Director at Large.
Craig Allen, Vice President.
Perfect. If you guys walk through this way, grab your water bottle. Oh.
Bruce.
I'm Director of the recruitment and retention.
Great, thank you. So the second Monday of the month, all the officers get on a Zoom meeting and conduct our business of the organization, which you'll get to see our accomplishments this evening. Next, I want to introduce the assigners. So up here is listed all the assigners and which clubs they assign for. So if you're an assigner, if you would please stand. So Jeff is with FME, who has come over to Northwest Soccer officials from Pierce County. And it's great to have FME and Jeff as part of the team. Craig Allen does your Starfire co-ed, so as you're getting into those adult games, part of the team that handles the Starfire tournaments, and then our WPL Development League and our WPL State Cup events. Did I miss anything, Craig? Awesome. I'm going to let Ryan do his introductions of which clubs he assigns for.
So I have Cascade FC, Eastside FC, Seattle Rain Academy, Cascade Premier out of Lindbergh, high school, and star player treatments.
I'm Rachel again, and I co-assigned with Richard, Fowler, Pac Northwest, and then Starflyer also with Craig and Ryan. We have Dragons, Steel United, PSSC, and Nita.
And as you'll see, there's several new names on the list here with Pierce County Soccer Referee Association coming over to NSO and several new clients. And so you'll get some new assigners to be able to interact with and get onto games in the Pierce County area. Next agenda item is the 2025 AGM meeting minutes. So they were posted on the website. Does anybody need me to bring them up, or does anybody want to move to approve as is?
I'll make a motion to approve the 2025 AGM meeting minutes.
Second.
Who was the second?
Joseph.
Joseph. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor of approving the minutes as is, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. Thank you. We will approve the minutes as is. For those that have entered the room since we've got started, make sure you get signed in. That's how you get your cinch bag and your raffle ticket and your sticker. Next on the agenda is the harassment policy. So part of our general liability insurance, we need to make sure that everyone's aware that we have a harassment policy for the organization. If at any time you feel like you're being harassed beyond the referee abuse prevention program, that's another path in another area, please reach out to one of your one of the directors, one of the board members. You also can reach out to your assigner to be able to assist with any issues. And harassments often can be in regards to diversity, ethnicity, gender, and age. But the policy outlines those items and the process, and you can find our policies underneath information documents on the website, and it's in that list of documents. I thought I would share an update on the RAP program. I know this is an area that everyone has received training in, either as becoming a new referee and or doing your recertification this last year. Christine Suter has been doing a phenomenal job at the state level of really trying to organize this and make this program as straightforward as possible. And really, this is what she describes as the referee abuse prevention cycle. And it really starts potentially out there on the field, us as referees identifying the issue, and then reporting it. And sometimes that would involve not only reporting it through the state website. So if you do encounter referee abuse, you really need to complete the form that's on the Washington Referees website, because then that information gets appropriately distributed to the right leagues, so then they can be followed up on and handled. Sometimes it may also be a safe sport issue because of it being an adult and a minor, and so we may take it down the safe sport avenue as well, and so you'd report it through safe sport. There's then usually a hearing. We're trying to make sure we have a feedback loop, and then sometimes we have instructing that needs to take place within the referee community or the coaching community or the club community. And then looking back at mentoring and hopefully mentoring the right behaviors. So Christine has been fortunate to be able to get us some numbers in regards to what's happened over the last year. And looking at, there's been a total of 50 reports, and 28% of those have been by spectators. 44% has been by coaches or assistant coaches, and then 4% by staff and managers. 24% by players, and 12% of the reports have to do with adult matches, 88% has to do with youth matches. And then 22% of the referees that were involved were involving referees under the age of 18. So I think it's fantastic that we're getting information back. As you can see, based on us making these reports is how we change this behavior. And so if we're not part of the solution in reporting referee abuse, then we are part of the problem. So make sure if you have an incident, you're not sure which avenue to take it, reach out to me, your assigner, and we can help you guide through that process. Any questions about the referee abuse?
Is this report from the recent year?
Yes, this is for 2025.
Is this the state of Washington or our district?
State of Washington.
And follow-up question, I know 12% to 80% adult youth looks asymmetric, but what is the total percentage of games that are adult and the total percentage of games that are youth?
Good question. I would say, if I was to guess, maybe that is about the distribution of 12% adult games and 88%
So we're
youth.
not seeing like more abuse happen on average on youth games than on adult games or vice versa.
I would not be able to make that assumption. I don't know, Wayne, how involved you're in with any of this and any information you have that would be kind of answer Joseph's question. In regards to this being 88% on youth games and 12% on adult games, what do we think our distribution of games are in the state? Do we have 88% youth games and 12% adult games?
A lot more youth games, that's all I know, directionally. The other thing is this RAP program officially launched March 1. So we're not even a full year into this cycle.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. Just want to remind everyone that NSO does have a travel sponsorship for regional events. So if you go to a regional event and have met this game count for NSO games, you can get this sponsorship to assist you with that travel. If you have that, just reach out to me and we'll do the calculation and get you a payment. Safe sports and electronic communications. I know that we get this training in our annual recertification, but I always want to cover it here to make sure that everybody understands that safe sports and their policies was really created around the player-coach relationship in sports. Unfortunately, it also is applied to us as a referee community, which seems kind of awkward when we have assigners trying to get games filled and our majority of our population of refs are youth. And as referees, we may be communicating with our crews before the game, and we're not sure, is that person a minor or are they an adult? Just want to remind everybody that when you have communications between an adult and a minor, you do have to have another adult on that electronic communication, meaning text messages, email messages, etc. So if you as a referee are communicating with a minor referee, feel free to include your assigner. That's a good person that you can include and would kind of know where that's coming from. Maybe there's 2 adults on the matches, so then you have 2 adults and a minor, so then you're covered in that way. But this is really important to make sure that as adults, you don't put yourself in a situation where you're communicating directly with a minor and no other adult is involved in that conversation. Any questions in regards to electronic communications with minors and adults?
And if you don't know, default to copying your sign. Because sometimes there's a rep and you don't know, you never heard of him or her, you don't know if it's a minor or not. So I just copy Richard or whoever the signer is.
Okay, next is NSO merchandise. So I don't know, Bruce I don't know if the ProTime link is up so that people can order merchandise now or not, but maybe we can open it up after the meeting tonight. So that way people can order merchandise through ProTime, which is who we use. Well, I know it was a few months ago, and I don't know if it got. I know it got opened again.
I check once in a while.
Okay.
And if it's closed, I contact with them and they have open up.
Perfect. So it should be open.
So if you have any problem with the website, let me know so I can contact with them and then reopen it. No problem with that.
So to entice you to purchase NSO merchandise, we will go to our door prizes and maybe rattle off 5 tickets. And the winners are able to then go over to the merchandise table and pick an item that they would like to have. Okay, let's jump into the executive director report, and we'll give a state of kind of where we are.
That's a question before you get too far.
Yeah.
On the whole minor thing, I get a lot of reps that ask because they're getting texts and somebody's late or somebody's coming, and if you go like with Ryan, he wants to know if somebody's not there. And I said, well, I always still want to look at the information you guys have for that rep, and if I see an email that's different than the email for that rep, I'm assuming it's probably a parent email. My question to you is that something that you guys require for the minors, that they get a parent email? So is that always going to be some kind of a parent email, or is that just happenstance?
We have had situations where a kid has put not a parent on it. I would always include the designer. I would always assume that, yes, you could send both email addresses, but also include the designer.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, let's look at, here are the clients, all the youth clients that we serve. So you will see that there's a lot of changes here that's occurred over the last year. And I know that probably many of you saw that there were some clients that left NSO this last spring. Unfortunately, the assigners didn't culturally fit with NSO, and so they decided to move their clients somewhere else. But we're happy to report that the Pierce County Soccer Referee Association had picked NSO to be able to move their clients to, so now we serve their area clients. So there's a few different logos up here than there were a year ago. We also then have the adult clients that we serve from NSO. I think that's one of the great things about the organization. We can help referees at the start of their career at a U9 game all the way to adult amateur, and help them in that path of being able to get to their regional referee. And also have all of our high school games that we have access to in that development. So there's our high school and our middle school games clients. And then we'll hit some metrics here quickly. So you'll see that we did have a drop in our games in 2025 than we did in 2024. We're hoping bringing Pierce County on board will help to get us back on the upward trajectory. I think this is one of the best slides that we have as an association, which shows the percentage of games without full coverage. And we are at below 1%. And it is just phenomenal of how all of you come out and officiate the games for our clients. And we have very happy clients that want to work with us because of the great professional services that all of you provide. This is our registration numbers. And as you see, we continue that upward climb of getting referees onto the NSO website to be able to assist in our coverage of our clients. I also have on here is the 3 lines at the bottom are the SRC's geographical areas on how people register. So if you live in the South King County area, you would be part of the South King County line. And if you're in Pierce County, you would have be part of the Pierce County. And then East King County is the top line there of that kind of greenish. And again, you can see that our numbers are on the rise again. We are almost at registration numbers of what we were prior to COVID. So we finally, after 5 years now, have brought our numbers back to almost pre-COVID time. And then this is our gross revenue for the organization. Again, a little bit of dip there with our change in clients over this last year, but next year we should be back moving in the positive direction. Just want to remind everybody of our opportunities for training, and so that way you can develop as a referee. We do have our monthly meetings on the fourth Mondays of the month via Zoom. We try to look at different topics. Last spring we did a few presentations that USSF had presented in regards to dissent and positioning. We try to bring in some outside speakers to talk about their experiences as an official. And then we also use it to get everybody ready for the fall season and also for our high school seasons. So encourage you to participate on those fourth Mondays of the month. If you're not able to, we also have a YouTube channel in which you can go and look at all of the recordings. And it's really neat to see that we actually usually get more participants that view the recordings than those that actually make it onto the Monday night events live. In addition to that, the state does provide training to advance your career and knowledge as a referee. So we have the referee advance clinics. That is offered by the SRC usually quarterly, and you can sign up for that on the WA Referees website. We also, the SRC, Wayne's done a phenomenal job on getting us a quarterly fitness test. So those referees that want to go out and run the fitness test and are in preparation of a regional referee path, those are offered on a quarterly basis. And then I know Wayne's working on a pro clinic in March is the hopes, where those that are advanced referees and regional referees get invited for some of that advanced training. We will do our high school rules clinic, and that says 2-2, but I think it's actually February 23rd. I think I lost a 3 there. So that's on the fourth Monday of the month. We'll do our spring high school training. And then RDA, I believe, is going to be on the 24th through the 26th. Wayne's shaking his head yes, so I did guess that correctly because that's the last full weekend of July. That's a great event for everybody to head over to Central Washington University, spend the weekend for some great training with some national speakers and, and good times for all. Any questions in regards to the Executive Director's report? Okay, I think I'm moving us along, try to keep things going. So the officers that came up earlier, this is your opportunity now to provide your report. And Mr. President, we'll start with you.
President, a few more minutes. Been on board 6 years. First year was as vice president / secretary because our secretary had to move along. And moved into the president role for 5 years since that point. I moved into the role as stated goal of like coming at it from a referee's perspective because I was still relatively new to refereeing. I've been at it about 10 years now. And one of the challenges that I had getting into refereeing was like, hey, I have to go to all these different websites. Maybe I want to try and get my schedule right, and where I want to do this or that. And it was difficult to go and to have so many different places to have to manage my time and schedule as a referee. So the goal was like, hey, just try to get as many associations, as many soccer clubs out there on one platform. So it's from a referee's perspective. Now I can go and pick and choose no matter if I'm at work, at school, if I'm away on the weekend or whatever, and I can pick up the game. We've seen that develop now, and there's some consolidation as the NSO, and also, to be fair, the referee group. Now you can go to two big websites in the Puget Sound area and get a lot of games. You can get almost anything you want. So stated a goal there. We've went through a lot of interesting times in that, during my tenure. COVID obviously being a big one, and we've seen some people come, some people go, but I'm grateful for remembering why I'm here. It's for other referees, but mainly for the kids, right? We're here for the game. And that's something that's the through line for me, and I'm just grateful for the folks that I met on this journey, and I'm not going anywhere. I'll stay on the field. So, yeah, thanks for the opportunity to be your president for a few years, and I'll be in the background for a while cheering you on the board. So, keep it up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy, for all your service to the board and the organization. You've led us through some tough times, and we're a better organization because of your leadership. So, Craig?
So, like Jeremy said, a lot of us, come out here because of our passion. I originally, Commissioner broke me into the board and said it was going to be a lot of fun. We had a great time. I served originally in the vice president position, and then with Wayne had set up an amazing mentoring program for us, and then I kind of picked up and ran with that for as long as I could. And then luckily we've had Jonathan, who's now taken it to a higher level, and along that line I kind of stepped away from the board and was more in the assigning role and kind of figuring out how the assigning role worked and kind of getting my feet wet there. And then coming back onto the board in the vice president role, really my job here was to support Jeremy and making sure that we worked collectively to we had a common goal and a common path as a board and as an organization. I think that we really worked towards that, especially where we saw achievements. Our numbers increased, our coverages increased. We'll call it satisfaction rating of referees increased. Whether that's having good games or more money in your pocket. I think we all benefit from that from this last year. And we continue to strive to make the organization better every day. And I just want to thank all the members on the board for making it an enjoyable experience. Thank you.
So our Director of Instruction is vacant, so we will move on to recruitment and retention. Bruce?
So I'd like to say, I think some of you hear from me, please encourage your sister, brother, parents, kids, grandparents, whoever friends, encourage to become a better referee, especially the teenagers, the kids. There's a good money for it, and then you could set it to the time, whatever you have. So this is very good making money. So please ask anyone and basically that's my job. Thank you.
Jonathan, Director of Mentoring.
Yeah. It's been a lot of changes. I thank Craig for starting the program. We did more mentoring this last year than basically all other years in the past 8 years combined. So that we had a large budget last year. We tried to get to see as many people as possible. The goal this year is to make sure we have a little bit of a reduced budget due to a couple clubs leaving, but we do have more opportunities to get those first-time referees a little bit more help because, as some of us know, those first 1, 2, 3 games are make or break for those young referees at 13, 14 years old. So that's the big drive for us. And then I'm also very thankful that Alex is part of the referee academy. You'll hear from him in a second, but we're really starting that up again this year too. So a lot of changes coming, and we're really excited.
Director of Communications, Rachel.
Like I said earlier, I do all the social media posts. So as always, if I want to deal with your crews, send in your pictures so I can get new faces up on our social media account. Just a good way to get our name out there besides just having the website. A lot of younger referees, especially, they look at social media more than they look at like their email or something instead. So it's just another way for me to stay involved, and I appreciate everyone that does send in photos.
And Alex Wilbert, Director of Referee Academy.
I think it's gone well. We've had a couple opportunities to work with the Referee Academy to get mentors out there on games and stuff. This past Winter Classic, I think, went well. And trying to create more events like that, probably doing one for Eastside, and then more in the summer, and possibly one for the high school boys. And just helping people kind of on the higher end of it, closer to a regional, closer to a referee advance, keep improving, keep doing those higher level games, keep doing those older high school games, and just improving our more, let's say, experienced referees, and giving them something to learn.
Okay, KD.
This was my first year on the board. I took over back in December when Colin abdicated his responsibilities to the board.
4 years.
And so I just took over for him, hopefully fill his shoes. It's been an eye-opening and learning experience. That's been what I took away from this past year. Because when I became a ref sometime around COVID, I just logged on to the site, picked a game, went to the game, did my matches, filed it, and that was it. I had no idea all the stuff behind the scenes that it takes to get those games there. The work that the board does, the work that Richard, Brian, and the assigners do, just to get, for us to have the ability to ref games and do what we love to do. So it's been eye-opening, it's been rewarding. I hope to continue to do it, and I urge those who haven't been involved to try and get involved because it's been rewarding. But yeah, I take the meeting minutes of every board meetings every month. We upload them to the NSO website, so if you want to know what's going on, what we discussed, it's all up there on the NSO website. Okay.
And then our directors at large. Justin, I'll start with you.
Good evening, everybody. First and foremost, I want to thank Jeremy for his commitment to the board and for a number of years serving. I also want to give a shout out to our directors, contract positions. Richard does a tremendous amount of work for us behind the scenes. We meet once every Monday, but throughout the year, Richard does a lot of the heavy lifting behind the scenes along with Ryan and Elmer. Nothing new on my side. Just thank you very much, guys, for letting me be a part of this.
Okay, Stephanie, I'll let you.
This is my first year as well, and my perspective came from not only being a soccer mom, but diving in my first year. I really started it because my kids, I wanted them to have a job, and I wanted to take them to the job and do it alongside them, but I ended up working more games than my kids, and so just really being able to connect the dots and help the community and help the growth between the kids and becoming a referee, which is like the numbers and it being a positive thing versus like, no, I don't want to referee. So really just kind of jumping in and talking to Eastside or when I'm out on the referee, but okay, you know what, I will ref with you anytime. So just call me when you get your badge, first game. So that's been a lot of fun, just connecting the dots with the younger community. But yeah, I mean, obviously everybody here is great on the board. It's been a good first year.
Okay, Chris.
This is my first year on the board, and my big contribution has been the gold program. With my friend Paul over there kind of helped with the concept of it and the big contribution. With this program, we started out with probably first contribution we had about 100 and so items. We were able to help referees over the high school weekend of the tournament. We got rid of about 60. So if you have any items to give, you can get a hold of me through my email. And that's been ongoing until April. So we'll just keep helping out as best we can and recycle the program every time.
And Chris, I want to thank you for getting this program up off the ground. It's nice to be able to have referees who decide that they don't want to ref anymore have a place to be able to donate. And so then those referees can then, who don't have certain colors or whatever, they can get those colors and fill in and not have to lay that cash out and take it from their earnings. So if you know referees out there who are trying to get rid of old uniforms because they've decided to retire, make sure we connect them with Chris, and hopefully we can keep this program going on. It was really neat to see at the Pac Northwest tournament the amount of kids that were going through there and getting the uniforms and be able to complete their uniform set. Darren as our youth representative.
Yeah, my name is Darren. I'm the youth rep. It's my first year on the board. I really enjoyed the time getting to know what goes on in the background. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that goes on, especially with Jonathan, with all the mentor stuff. It's really impressive what he's done, and then Chris, and then obviously Richard and everyone else. But yeah, other than that, I just say keep getting the youth involved. I've made a lot of money doing this. I've made a lot of friends, and I got to choose my hours, so I still can balance. It's an easy balance with school and hanging out with friends. So yeah, if you know anyone, any friends for you guys or any kids, keep pushing in the direction.
Elmer's not here this evening. He does all of the work on the website and keeps it up and running. Helps to purge our data so that way we don't have higher costs on the software. But if you have any web issues, you just email the webmaster at Northwest Soccer Officials, and he's the one that helps you out. Next, Ryan's going to give us a report in regards to our financials.
All right, so kind of keep it simple tonight. Just get our next thing in, I guess. Here's good. So in 2025, we reported a net loss of $1,233. So our goal is to always make a little or lose a little, kind of year over year. I'm not in here to post record profits. So good job with that, managing money. We did complete our migration. We used to use a third party called Coastal Bank. It was a nightmare chasing down failed payments and then reprocessing. And so we pulled that in-house directly with our bank, with Banner Bank. It is getting better. Notifications are coming in faster, but it's still the process to turn around those failed payments, which there's on every payment period, there's 2 a month. We have anywhere between 3 and 5 months, every single payment period. That was completed. Our mentoring investments, I just like to share this with one member at $5,000. We went to 12 last year. This year we spent almost 25. So that number continued to go up. We will have a slightly lower budget next year planned, but that will be one thing we're charging forward with is how do we identify ways to save money, to invest more in developing reefs. That's a really important thing that we do. Total revenue overall, as you guys know, we have no clients that left, roughly about a $205K lower revenue in 25 than we had in 24. We expect some of that to be offset as we go into 2026. Lastly, I filed 1099s over the weekend. You will have received a very strange email, probably, to send an email out to everyone who received one, because only if you paid more than $600 you get that email. But you do need to consent, and then you can open up your 1099. You can also go to the website and pull it down there. But I really want you to consent and do all that piece because of the laws. I need to have consent, or I need to print something and put it in the mail. And so you save less money by going in and consenting and taking care of all that. So jump over to the next slide. This is the approved budget for 26 that we set at our last meeting. As we said, we spent $23,000 on mentoring last year. If you think about, there's variable things that we can adjust. It's very few of them. B&O taxes, L&I, insurance, like those things are set by the state, and it's based on number of hours and percentage of revenue, right? So there's nothing we can do to adjust those things. Our website hosting fee is pretty flat, so there's not a whole lot to play around with. Insurance is pretty flat, but mentoring is one area. That was the biggest change last year. This year is dialing that down by roughly 5,000. And as we look at our revenue forecast, with kind of late developing with Pierce County, and we'll kind of reevaluate things. We do have a little bit of a estimated earnings, and can we reinvest that back if we're getting value out of that program as an association. So, any questions on the budget or finances? Yeah.
Ryan, can you just check on real quickly on how many, 2 questions, 1099s we issued, and then also on our peak pay period, how many referees did we pay?
So 1099s was 540 referees received over $600. So and some of that's kind of, there's a couple families that run businesses, and they aggregate into a single entity, so that's one 1099 for maybe 5 or 6 people. And so roughly 530 referees. And then peak payment, I mean, in the summer, you got those tournaments going on, we're paying more than 600 people. That's probably the highest number we've had in the year, a little bit over 600 for 1 2-week pay period. Okay.
So our revenue dipped $205K because of the loss of a handful of clients. Do we know how much that will be offset by bringing on the Pierce County clients for next year?
So I did that number, and I had it before. I didn't put it on the slide. I wanted to say that the estimated revenue with the Pierce County clients and the existing NSO clients is about $1.39 billion. And our previous forecast was a little bit over 1.5. So, and that's game revenue. I don't count the assigner and the admin fee, which is like our game. That's our game revenue. Offset. We're gonna get close. And again, there's like half the clients didn't we didn't have the fee increases for a good part of the year, and so that will kind of offset. I know my clients are talking about doing a couple more tournaments over the summer, which would result in more weekends, more highly publicized events. And so I think there's a good chance to kind of bring us back close. Any other questions? Oh, yeah. 26 priorities. I'm living in the past. Obviously, a big priority is going to be getting the new clients set up, get the payments going through, the new referees set up, make sure that their banks are all working and they're getting paid for doing their games. And the toll fees are getting set up and working. That's going to be a big priority for the first part of the year. We'll be doing a financial audit, so just to go through the books, make sure everything looks good, we're doing all the right things. And then the goal for me this year is I want to decrease this resolution time. Sometimes it can take a month. Sometimes it's not on me. Like it takes someone to respond and give me the account information that I need. Sometimes I get 5 times the referees still can't get anything right. So I'm going to try to change the process so that they fail less, they get less charges. It's $5 sometimes they don't pay, right? $5 charge. So I want to eliminate that as much as possible. So you'll be collecting that financial documentation, but shortening that window most importantly. Because if people don't get paid fast, then they're going to go find a different job really quick. So we want to build good revenues.
Let's have a comment. If the revenues went down 205,000, and you're saying we only had a net loss of 1,000?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty remarkable, actually. I mean, I don't see a lot of companies that I deal with that have a significant decrease in revenues and are able to offset whatever their expense portfolio is to almost negate that. So whoever was responsible for that, I think that's kudos to them.
Next on the agenda is the draft bylaws. For those of you who were here last year, we had some bylaw updates as we changed the bylaws officially from the South King County Soccer Referee Association to NSO. Tonight we're proposing some additional changes to the bylaws. One of the items is that the organization has a constitution and also, which is one document, and also a set of bylaws. And we have never kept up with the constitution and it being changed to keep it in sync with the bylaw changes. So based on this proposal, we actually combined the elements that were missing from the constitution into the bylaws. So then we will remove the constitution if that change is approved by the members tonight. The second item here is that we made some changes within there to make it read a little bit straightforward. We've also proposing to delete the WOA assigner being appointed by the board yearly. In the 15 years that I've been involved with the board, we've never appointed the high school assigners on a yearly basis. It's something that gets appointed when the assigners of that position have resigned. And or if the board felt like they needed to replace the assigners because they're not performing the job, then the board would have that ability to replace the assigners. One big change that's in this proposal is that we have 3 directors at large positions. They're just kind of 3 directors. We are proposing that we actually require that a director is elected out of our 3 primary service districts that are based on the SRC districts. So as I said earlier, all of us, when we registered with the WA Referees website, we selected a district in which we live. So if you're in the South King County area, you're part of South King County. If you live in Pierce County, you're part of Pierce County. And if you're in East King County, you're part of East King County. If this is approved tonight, we would then elect our directors, one being out of those 3 districts. So you have to be in one of those districts in order to run for those positions. And then we also are proposing that we change the director of mentoring from an elected position to one of our contractor positions. So again, as an organization continues to grow and mature, we see that this function and the time and energy that is put into that work to make it effective for the organization, we feel that it needs to be a contractor position as opposed to a officer position that is volunteer. I will pause there and open it up for any questions, comments in regards to the draft bylaws.
So if we adopted directors from the 3 districts, do you have a rough breakdown of our membership in regards to what percentage is from East King County and what percentage from South King County and Pierce County?
So how I would answer that is that there's about I think Pierce County is probably our smallest area, South King County being the second, and then the largest being East King County. In the East King County district, we primarily service games in Preston, Snoqualmie, North Bend, Issaquah, whereas that district also is encompassing Bellevue, Redmond, Kirkland. So unfortunately, there's no one-to-one relationship. I think the board's thought behind this is that this gives these positions a little bit more purpose in that they're out there reffing with the referees that are in their area, because we all primarily kind of ref where we live. Unless we really want to go do those big games, then maybe we'll travel a little bit further. But that way we're getting, I think, representation onto the board of those 3 geographical areas, and I think it hopefully would improve just the board's function.
But it's not like we're way out of whack on, we have 50% of East King County and then 10% of the others kind of deal.
Yeah, no, I would say that East King County is like, and I look at these numbers too often, like 1,200, and South King County probably gets up to 800, and I would say Pierce County at 600. Any other questions,
Question.
comments? Yeah.
Am I looking at 5 different votes or one vote on the 5 things?
This is what is proposed as a package, okay? The membership can decide to unpackage it into different pieces, but this is what's being proposed as a package. Does that answer your question?
I hope everyone heard what you just said. Yes. Because again, not that I come all the time, when I look at that, I see 5 separate things, not one thing. Obviously, the biggest one is incorporating the Constitution into the bylaws. Again, that's new to me, but I think that's a good idea. But that is a subject all in itself.
Yeah.
And to me, that's why I see 5 different items. So, I would hope that if there's a vote on this tonight, that you're voting 5 times, not voting once.
So Ray's proposing, I believe, based on that conversation.
If I would like to move that this draft be separated into 5 separate items.
I second that.
And I call the question. That means we're not going to discuss it, we're just going to vote.
That means we can talk about it.
I think to Ray's point, right? Like, so one of the things I'm curious about is if we've all discussed, and I know we've seen the proposed budget. Did that proposed budget also incorporate potential changes if the director of mentoring transitions to a paid contractor position?
Okay, ask that question again.
So we looked at a proposed budget for 2026. Does that budget include what any changes would look like if we incorporated the director of mentoring as a paid board position?
So I would answer that question in that the board would be responsible for adjusting the budget as necessary to incorporate any changes that would get made based on the membership's approval of the any of these bylaw changes.
And I would also answer that the proposed budget that was on the form there was based on what the board had discussed as the final budget item, which included a potential mentoring position. So there was some money accounted for that in that budget.
And I'd like to bring up the point that there was definitely a lot of board talk about all of these 5 items. And so we did a lot of work behind the scenes before bringing this to the full AGM. So it's not like we're trying to push 5 things through. We just worked on 5 things, and we believe this is our effort that we put forward.
Yeah, I think these changes, and like the changes we did last year, recognize as an organization that is keeping their documents current based on their practices. In my other real job that I do, 40 hours a week, that's how you get yourself in trouble, is that your documents don't actually reflect what your practices are. And so I think our board, and what I'm trying as the executive director to do, is to make sure that our documents are accurately reflecting what we are doing as an organization, so we don't get ourselves into trouble. Okay, so Ray has called the question after the second. So I believe at this point we will go through and do a vote on each item.
Can I ask who seconded that motion from Ray? Brandon?
Lively discussion in regards to the bylaws. I think that helps to demonstrate the importance of this organization to all of our members, and our members are really making the decisions in regards to how this organization is ran. So I appreciate that time and energy. I'm now going to go even faster to try to get us through the rest of this agenda here, because I know we all probably want to get home. If you didn't get enough cookies at the Winter Classic, you can get the same selection over there on the table, so please make sure you get over there and get some cookies Okay, first I just want to do some recognition here in regards to WOA referees. And so most referees, we want to have them to have a years of experience before they go down the path of officiating high school and middle school games. And a year experience, I think that's what I want to say. And if you're a youth, if you are 16 and older, we usually will provide those opportunities to our youth referees to officiate middle school and high school games. So here is the list. So every fall and spring season, the association gets to select the referees to represent us at the semifinals and finals tournament. And so here are our referees that have represented the South King County area, which is what we are for WOA. I know there's several people in the room here. If you are on this list, if you could just take a moment and stand for us and be recognized for your service to the organization. And then we also have our spring soccer referees that have represented us at the spring soccer boys weekend. So if you are on this list, if you could please stand, that'd be fantastic. Okay, we're going to go into the 2026 awards. First of all, I want to recognize our past awardees. I know that Paul is in the room, and Bruce, our past awardees of the mentor recognition. This year, the board would like to congratulate Chris Yabara as our mentor. You do. Congratulations. Hold on. Okay, next is our Female Youth Rookie of the Year and our past awardees. I don't think anyone that's on this list is here this evening. We do want to recognize 3 nominees, Caitlin, Lake, and Emily. I don't think that they're here this evening either. And the board has selected Emily Meeks as our Female Youth Rookie of the Year. Okay, we now have our Male Youth Rookie of the Year past awardees. Mr. Wolbert back there, Cody back there at that table, Mason. And is Jose here tonight? No. So there's some of our past awardees in attendance. The board wants to recognize 3 individuals, Isaac, Carlos, and Sebastian. And I don't see any of the 3 of them. And the board selected Isaac as our youth male referee. See, look at that. We're making time up here. Okay, next is our Female Adult Rookie of the Year past awardees. I know that Monica is here with us this evening as our 2024, and Stephanie as our 2025 female rookie. This year, the board recognized 2 individuals, Kira Jones and Chloe Smith. And they're not here this evening. No, Kira, yeah, Kira. So Kira and Chloe, Kira, you got to come up here. You get a water bottle for being nominated. Congratulations. And then Chloe was selected by the board as our Female Adult Rookie of the Year. Moving on to our Male Adult Rookie of the Year, Chris Yabera is one of our past recipients, and I think you're the only one here this evening. Next then, we want to recognize 3 individuals as been nominated as the Adult Male Rookie of the Year. So you need to come up, Aaron and Jafar. Come on. Congratulations. Oh, there you go. Congratulations. And then Jafar, you can stay up here because you actually were recognized as our Rookie of the Year. Yep. No, we can go right here. Our top game count for female youth referees of past awardees. So this is the individuals recognized for the top game count over the years. I don't think any of them are here. This is for youth referees. I did find it interesting that the game count does continue to kind of go in the upward direction. Our top three female youth referees for game count is Deanna, Lake, and Olivia. I don't think any of the three of them are here. And Deanna is our winner of the top game count with 80 games. Top game count for youth male referee, past awardees. Jesus. 393 games. Wow, you hold the record. Our top three this year are Isaac, Jose, and Max. Max, I know you're here. That's who gets it, right? Congratulations. And then Jose is the one that walks away with the award with 281 games. Okay, top game count for female adult referee past awardees. Look at Angie Brooks there and Jennifer Johnson. Our nominees for this year, Alyssa Meeks, Angie Brooks, and Elizabeth Gutierrez. Come on. Congratulations. And the winner for the top game count is Elizabeth Gutierrez with 326 games. Yep. Okay. Top game count for male adult referee past awardees. I think Chris is our only one here. I think Chris's words after getting this award was, okay, now it's time to dial it down. This year, our three top count is Aldemar, Cesar, and Chris. So Chris. Congratulations. And Chris is correct. He is not the top game count this year. Cesar is with 359 games. Next is the Female Adult Referee of the Year past awardees. And Monica is on this list as well. This year, the board has nominated three individuals, so Monica, Alyssa, and Morgan. So Monica, you get to come up. Alyssa. There's your water bottle. Congratulations. I know. Congratulations.
I don't need to.
You can see which of your friends wants to pay the highest bid for it. And then Alyssa was selected as the Female Referee of the Year.
have done this at home.
Okay, next then is our adult male referee of the year, past awardees. Adam was one of our past awardees, and Chris last year. This year, the board has. Is that going to be the new competition of who can get the most nominations? Our nominees this year is Jeremiah, Jacob, and Jesus. So if Jesus and Jeremiah will come up. Congratulations. Congratulations. And Jeremiah, you can stay here because you were selected as the. You gotta face her. Moving on to our female youth referee of the year, our past awardees. None of them are here this evening. Our nominations this year was Isabel, Deanna, and Olivia. None of the three of them are here. And the board selected Isabel Albin as our youth female referee. And our male youth referee of the year for youth, past recipients, Alex Wolbert and Jesus. And this year's board recognized Max, Kobe, and Sebastian. So Max, come on up. Yep. And Max, you were selected as our youth male referee.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
And just want to congratulate everyone for their awards this evening. Just give them a round of applause. Last agenda items is our elections. And so this evening we will hold elections for several of our positions. Just want to remind everyone that kind of the time commitment here is we do a board meeting on the second Monday of the month over Zoom has how we've been doing it since the pandemic. And then each job has its own description, which as we go through the positions, I'll display up here on the projector. So here are the positions this evening that we will be voting on. I do have one change. We will not be voting on a director of mentoring since you changed that position to a contractor instead of an officer. So that's one less vote we have to do this evening. So with that, we'll